So I know the iPhone 17 series has been out for a month now, and I picked up my iPhone 17 a little bit later, so I've had it for a week, and it's been great. Honestly, this is a really good phone, and with the upgrades you get, I don't know if you truly need the pros unless you're really doing pro things. If not, this is going to cater to 90% of what the Pro has to offer. And this is probably going to be the recommendation that I will give to people rather than the Pros. So starting things off with design, it's similar to its predecessor, the iPhone 16, when you look at it from the exterior, from the back and from the sides. But it's definitely lighter than the Pro models, I'll tell you that. And that's obviously because it doesn't have as large of a battery as the Pros. Now, with the iPhone 17, as well as the Pros, we do get ceramic shield too. And that's obviously more durable and better for scratch resistance, things like that. But I've been careful with my phone, so no scratches so far, which I'm trying to be extra careful with because I use a case and things like that right here. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below if you want to check this case out from Pitaka. Now it does have really thin bezels compared to its predecessor, as well as a slightly larger 6.3 inch display versus the 6.1 inch found in the iPhone 16. And while I haven't noticed a huge size difference, it doesn't really capture my attention, I'll tell you this, what does is the 120 Hz ProMotion. Finally, Apple brought it, and it's just been great. And now more people than ever before can kind of get used to using 120 hertz, understand why for so many years a lot of people here on YouTube and other platforms have been talking about why Apple should have a 120 hertz ProMotion display in their base models. I think the struggle here was, for so many years, there was an argument saying, oh, well, average consumer doesn't care about 120 hertz. That's because the average consumer didn't have the chance to experience it because they're buying the base iPhone models, which didn't have 120 hertz. But once they did, they would not be able to go back. I'll tell you this, if someone right now goes and picks up an iPhone 17 who has not experienced 120 hertz, uses it for a couple weeks, then goes back to a device that doesn't have it, I'll tell you, they will not want to give up their iPhone 17 because of that faster refresh rate. They're going to notice the difference. And not only that, this gets a peak brightness of 3000 nits outdoors, so it's really visible. So you won't have any problems when you're using it under direct sunlight, or if your job requires you to be outdoors all day, you'll have no problems whatsoever. I personally went with this black color iPhone 17 because, well, Apple didn't release one for the iPhone 17 Pros. So kind of had to make up with getting one for the iPhone 17, but I also do really like the sage color. I think this overall still feels super premium. It's an iPhone without giving that extra weight or just the extra thickness. Overall, I still like this. The biggest change here does come with the display of the iPhone 17, and it's a notable upgrade. Now let's talk about the performance. It's powered by the A19 chip, so it's not the Pro chip, but it's still very powerful. It's going to tackle everything. So everyday performance, it's flawless. There's no lags, no frame drops. Apps open instantly. And even if you use this game for long gaming sessions, it's going to stay really cool. It has upgraded internals, Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6 and things like that. And it also has really good RAM management, what I've noticed. I can keep a bunch of apps open in the background and it just keeps them open. I don't need to start from scratch. 8 gigs of RAM, so it's not as much as the 12 gigs found on the 17 Pros, but still gets the job done. Now, if you want to go the extra mile and you need the Pro chipset for what reason I don't know off the top of my head, then go with the A19 Pro chipset found in the Pros. Pick up that phone. It's going to tackle video editing, playing games, making content, editing photos, things like that, watching YouTube videos, multitasking. It's going to handle everything without having any flaws whatsoever. But if you want extra thermal management, that may be a reason to get the 17 Pros, which I'll tell you, it's definitely, it gets less warm than the iPhone 17 does. This still gets a tad bit warm to the touch, warmer, I'll put it that way, rather than using the 17 Pro. So there is that too. It is crucial. When you have a vapor cooling chamber, it does make a huge difference. And maybe if the 17 did, which I think in a couple of years they will, then you'll notice the difference. But for right now, it's good. Like the performance is as expected. Apple does really well in the performance department. iOS 26 on this has also been flawless. With my past iPhone 16, 16 Pro experience, it's been buggy, smooth. It's been not smooth, I'll put it that way. But with the iPhone 17, it's been the exact opposite. Buttery smooth, no hiccups, no bugs, no issues, none of that, none of those problems occurring here with the iPhone 17 series. I'm really happy with it. I feel like it's just more polished and made for the 17 series, and it's great. I just like the overall UI aesthetic and new look that iOS 26 has to offer. The cameras are also really good. Again, if you don't need more camera versatility, if you don't need those extra camera features, you go with the iPhone 17. It's got a dual 48 megapixel camera setup, which is great. They produce really sharp, balanced results, and the ultra wide lens also does really well and does a little bit better in low lights when compared to its predecessors. The front facing camera gets that upgraded 18 megapixel camera, which also has center stage, so you can use it for video calls. You can use it for dual capture too, which I think is great for content, not content consumption, but for making content. So I absolutely love what we get with the front-facing camera for photos and for videos. It's great. I'm going to make use of using the front-facing camera for making content. And for videos on the iPhone here with the iPhone 17 or 17 Pro, I don't really have a competitor that kind of beats it. I still would prefer using video results here on the iPhone 17, especially if I'm going to share it on social media. Again, like for me, I'm more of like using it for content for my business. That's why I would kind of navigate to using the 17 and 17 Pro for video. But photos are also really great. I mean, overall, it's obviously the best non-pro camera Apple has ever shipped. But I can argue that for the devices that I've used, I think it's the best non-pro or non-ultra camera that I have used so far in 2025. Like, it's that good. Yes, it doesn't have a triple camera setup, but that's okay. I mean, second camera lens is an ultra wide. Some companies decide to use telephoto as second camera lens. So I like the setup here with the iPhone 17. How has the battery held up in the past week? It's been great. For a base iPhone, it lasts literally a full day. I'm ending the day with like 35-40% of battery life. So that's a huge plus. Standby time, the drain there is very minimal. So that's also a huge plus. It's not the fastest at charging, but since I use it for MagSafe charging, so if I'm at work using it or if I'm at home, I have MagSafe chargers wherever. So like I'm not in any need of rushing to charge my phone and to get it to 100%. But I still wish, just in case, you never know, just in case there may be that one instance where you're in a rush, you forgot to charge your phone, or you just need that faster charging, you'd like to have it, it's not really here. And what I mean by fast charging is I've used devices with fast charging, 65, 80 watts of fast charging. I would love to see that in other devices, like from Samsung, like from Apple, and like from Google. I don't know if we'll ever get it, but hopefully in a couple of years we will. And I gotta tell you, with the pricing here, Apple kept the price the same, but they bumped up the storage. So $799, or if you're picking it up unlocked like myself, you're gonna get it for $829 for 256 gigs. Finally, there's no more 128 gigs, which I don't think is enough nowadays. Again, you're paying hundreds of dollars less when you pick this up if you were to go with the Pro instead. But you're getting, I would argue, 85-90% of the experience. So if you just want the smaller things that the Pro has to offer, like the triple camera setup, better battery life, better thermal management, then you go with the 17 Pro. But just to wrap things up, my overall thoughts, iPhone 17, it feels like the base iPhone Apple should have made before, a couple of years before, but their year-over-year updates with the base model has just been so bland and just, I wouldn't even call them like number upgrades. It was just like an iPhone 13 SSSSS. Like it just kept going on. There are so many small updates, not even many. There was just such small updates. It didn't really make it a reason to buy a year later, 2 years, or even 3-4 years later. Or I just wouldn't even recommend it at all. Like if you're gonna pick up a base iPhone, go for the Pro model. But this year I think it's a little bit different. Display It's bright and fluid. Cameras are excellent. The battery life, it finally does perform even better than its predecessor, the 16, which was also really good. There's no major bugs. There's no overheating. A super polished and dependable experience on my end. Your experience may be different, but again, I'm sharing my thoughts. It's been great on my end. It's not flashy like the Pro. It's not going to get all the Pro things, but it nails the essentials. It's simple. It's fast. It's reliable. I really do like the iPhone 17. And if I were to sit down and recommend the iPhone 17 or the Pro, I would choose the iPhone 17. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to Superman the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot and will help push my content out to more people. Definitely be sure to check out the links down below. This is my latest wallpaper pack. It is called Vintage Flourish, as well as the case that I use right now, which is from Pitaka. And I also recently picked up this watch band for my Apple Watch Ultra 2. It's got like this Milanese mesh loop to it, so it's actually really nice. Links will be in the description down below. But that's been it for me, and I'll catch y'all in the next episode.